Hello, everybody. This is Linda Davetas, owner and founder of healingsonthego.com. I'm a psychic clairvoyant medium, certified healer, Reiki healer, crystal healer, candle manifestation channeling, and an author of my book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light. To see what all services and offers that I offer, go to healingsonthego.com. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about energy and energy cords, how we pick it up throughout, uh, basically, since we're little. A lot of attachments that we get, as you all know, we're all one with the universe. So, how we connect and cord things are very interesting. I'm going to name a few and basically energetic cords. What are energetic cords? They are connections formed between two people. So just by me speaking to you, we create a cord together. Welcome, Anne. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please do like and share. Energetic cords are those that are formed between relationships. They can drain us sometimes. Like sometimes we're talking to someone and we're connecting with their energy. What will happen then is sometimes, if it's not too positive, the energy will be draining if it's not managed properly, especially relationships. Some relationships could be draining and unfortunately toxic. So, yes, we pick up energies through relationships, through talking with people, being on the phone with them, and different sorts. Even friendships, and there are good chords and they're bad chords. And that's what we want to talk about, the good and the bad. Bless you. Okay, the next one is spiritual attachments. Now, that's another one. We can go somewhere, for instance, a funeral, or just go by a cemetery or anywhere, and you can pick up certain spirits or entities. And depending on the vibration that you're on, they will attract to your energy field. And sometimes it will become an attachment, believe it or not. So they will start. So people ask me, okay, so how do I know that I have something attached to me? And I said, well, you'll start feeling thoughts that are not even yours. And that's where I want to talk about my book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light. And of course, I left it in the other room, but you can find it at healingsonthego.com. And basically, your thoughts will not become your thoughts. Things will pop in your head, and you would be like, oh my goodness, where did that come from? Things that normally you would never think about. And it's usually negative, honestly. There will be emotions and behaviors that you're going to feel like, wow, this isn't me. Or all of a sudden, I'm so snappy, and that's just not how I am. You will start acting out of character. And I've had an experience when I went to this space, and she told me, can you go downstairs and go and see what vibration you feel? And basically, I picked up a lot of, in seconds, I picked up so much negative. I felt like people were being tortured in that space in the basement. And it was something that took me a couple days to recuperate. So we attach, like our hair attaches different energies. Welcome, Maria. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So if you notice, sometimes people that go through a breakup, they will what will they do first? They'll either change their hair color or they'll cut their hair. And why do you think they cut their hair? Have you noticed? I've noticed a lot of people that go through breakups, they don't even realize that they're cutting their hair. I mean, they notice they're cutting their hair, but why are they cutting their hair? And that's because energy attracts on our hair, especially the crown chakra, which is relationships and stuff like that. So the first thing they will do is chop their hair off, or they'll change the color. So notice that, and you'll be like, wow, that's amazing, because people will do certain things unconsciously and then be like, oh, wow, that's why I did it. That's so funny. So let's talk more about cords. Emotional residue, that's another one. Strong emotions, particularly the negative ones, can linger in a person's energy field and in their aura. It would impact their mood. So again, just like spirit attachments, spirits are attaching to you, because sometimes when we're on a low vibration for a very long period of time, what will happen is you're going to be on their station. So it's like going into Z100. So there you will find all the souls that are very down. Maybe they committed suicide. Maybe they just in life they were very depressed. So you're attracting that energy. When you're very low for a long period of time, then you will start opening portals and doors to that. And that's when those spirits will come in. And again, they will influence your thought pattern. So be mindful of what thoughts are coming into your mind, because most of the time they are not your own thoughts. And that's where the next one comes in: thought forms. What will happen is the thoughts will become very repetitious, repeated thoughts, beliefs. It can create like an energetic pattern that influences again our behavior. Negative thoughts, and especially suicidal victims. Now, I've said this before: people that commit suicide or kill people, they will always say, oh, something told me to do it. Yes, they really did. Spirits do speak through thought pattern, and they do tempt you to do things you normally would not want to do. So basically, you have to be wary, because those thoughts are always negative. And in my experience, going through so much in my mom's haunted house, which there were 5 demonic spirits, and it used to talk through me very negative back I was a little girl, and it would show me how I should go and kill myself. And thank God that I control my thoughts and I never went through it. But the building that my mother lives in till this day, there have been a lot of suicides. There was this lady that committed suicide because her boyfriend wouldn't marry her, like crazy things. And that whole building is, not the whole building, but a lot of people committed suicide, unfortunately. And this man that I know, it's like so many people, all of a sudden they're like killing themselves. So again, be cautious of what comes through your head. And yes, it will be negative most of the time. I can't say every thought is negative, but it depends what energy you're on, is what you're attracting. So the next one is called ancestral attachments. And what is an ancestral attachments? Basically, they are energies or unresolved issues from ancestors that have been passed down, impacted through the generations. Healing these can require addressing your family history and inherited patterns. So, for example, there are things, energies that have been passed on from generation to generation. And in some cases, I know some people say, oh, like, I've had migraines and my grandfather had migraines and my great grandfather. So there's like certain things, energies, or it could even be unresolved issues that have been passed down from generation to generation. And how do you resolve that? You have to go back in time, and you have to, I mean, you can't really talk, you can talk to your ancestors through meditation, believe it or not, but you have to see what is reoccurring and try to heal it. So it can be a whole bunch of things. It could be people that, they didn't have successful relationships, and they believe that every generation they're not going to get married or they're not going to have kids. It's like a certain belief that you just have to address and change the pattern, like abuse. Some people have abuse that is gone down from generation to generation because the grandfather hit the wife, or so certain things like that, they're addressed generation to generation, and they go on and on until we're addressed. So making those changes, those energies, those unresolved issues come down from the past into the future and changing that. Okay, the next one is object attachments. And this one everyone knows about, because I always talk about. I'm like, be careful of what you buy in thrift shops, because those have attachments, 90% of them. So you want to be careful what you're buying. And sure, you might love it, but sometimes it's for your own safety, not to, it depends what energy you feel. You can always cleanse the object, right? But I just always say be wary of those, because they've had energy on it. So basically, I had know this lady that just bought a bed from a thrift store, and she said, "Oh, I asked the owner, and he told me this lady died in the bed." I was like, "And that's what you want to bring to your house?" So, you don't want to pick up somebody that was sick on the bed, didn't feel good, ended up dying on the bed just to get it for like so much cheaper. But is it really worth it? Do you want to carry those cords with you that make you feel like, oh, you know, I don't feel good? It's just not worth it. Sometimes it's not worth it. There's a lot of people that want to save money. Sure, it's good to save money, of course, especially now in this age where everyone is struggling somehow. So, but just be careful what you're buying. And there's a lot of stories that I have where people have bought coming from bookcases. So this lady bought a bookcase and she told me, Linda, at the corner of my eye, I always see spirits. Like I see this man walk by. I said, did you see it before you bought the bookcase? She said, no. I said, so then I think it's attached to that object because maybe that spirit really liked his bookcase. Maybe he was a big reader. So I said, do you want me to cleanse it? And then she said, no, we'll just leave it like that. So I said, okay. So sure enough, it became worse and worse. And she would see it often. She goes, you know what? I think I'm going to take your advice and just throw it out. Ever since she threw it out, she never saw that thing again. It was completely gone. So again, objects carry sentimental value to people and also historical significance. It could be energies that are passed down from past owners or events associated with them. And now here you go, you have a piece of them. And some spirits are so attached to certain things that they will come around it. So that's why they say when someone dies, it's good to get rid of their stuff because they see that as home. It's like us coming home and, all their stuff is there. It's time for them to go on to the other dimension. So sometimes they say, get rid of not, if you can save some, but it's good to get rid of most of them and just let them go on to the next life and not feel attached. I had this lady that bought a ring and she was very attached to it. When she ended up dying, her mother actually outlived her, and she said to me, wow, I still feel her energy on the ring. They said, well, of course, because everything we own has our own energy. Everything that we possess has our energy. And that's one thing that I always refer to people and tell people. I say, when you're selling things, your energy is on it. So you want to make sure that your energy feels good when you sell things because no one's going to want to buy it. It's like you going into a store and you pick up something, it feels like very icky. So you're not going to want to buy the object. But if it feels very happy, you want to make sure your objects are cleansed. I do that all the time. When I buy my stuff, I cleanse them, I leave them by the window. And I always make sure that I sage them and rosemary them, just so that way it's a nice clean feel. I have bought something one time from eBay. It was a cross, and I felt this old lady's energy on it. And I was like, oh my God. I asked God, I said, please, God, cut the cords from this because it didn't feel like too of a nice older lady. She felt like very stern. So after I said that, poof, it just vanished. So towards the end of the show, I will give some tips and tricks how to cleanse things. Basically, I do them, all the time, but we're just going to bring awareness to what objects, what things attach to what. So here's another one. It's called environmental attachments. And what is that? It's certain places that hold energies from past events or inhabitants. Spending time in these can actually influence a person's energy. So, for example, being at a lake, and that's naturally healing. So, that's an environmental attachment where you go and you get cleansed and you feel healed because it's very, lakes and other spaces are very good, very clearing, very refreshing. It's like going for a free healing. So those are all environmental ones. Lakes, every place has an energy. So just know that what you're doing, what you're seeing, everything will carry an energy. It's up to you whether you want to attach to it or not. So do you want to attach to some? I used to love scary movies when I was younger. I used to love the thrill of it. But then I thought to myself, do I want something? Because energy travels through TVs, phones, everywhere. And I thought to myself, do I want these crazy spirits in here? No. So I would change the channel. So you just have to be mindful of what you're watching, what you're giving your focus on, because what you're giving your focus on is actually coming through in some way and it's manifesting. So the next one is karmic attachments, and that's a big one due to relationships. Karmic attachments could be from past lives when you have had a relationship with them in a past life and it's carrying over to the recent one. And that's when it's unresolved issues. So that's why I never judge someone's relationship or what they're doing, because you don't know. Do you know that they might have been together in another life and they're just coming back because they have unresolved issues? So that's a big one. Or they need healing from that relationship. Or there are things that they promised each other in another lifetime. So you never know why things are happening. And I do not judge anyone, because only God knows and only God could judge them. It's not my place to say what you're doing is wrong. It's totally a different story why it's happening. Okay, I'm glad I'm not on my phone because they tried to call me. Okay, so the next one is, okay, we talked about karmic. The next one is emotional residue. And that's when all the emotions come in, the strong emotions, particularly attachments, emotional residue for the negative ones, like things that linger in a person's aura that impacts their mood. That's also emotional residue. Okay, aura clutter. Okay, so we go around the day, we go to the store, we go this and we go that. Our energy is always picking up things. We're getting accumulation of energy, various energy, whether it be emotional energy, experiences that haven't been cleared. So that's a good example. There was a time where this lady was very sick. So she went on medicine. She did all that. She got better. But when I did her healing, I still didn't feel her well. So that's why emotional, like healings, are very important, because that energy is still sticking on you. So even though you're better, you got to also refresh your energy. Just the way you cleanse your body, you cleanse your aura, because you might feel better, but you still have that attachment of the sickness. So that's why I always refer to healings, whether it be Reiki healing, crystal healing, candle. I do everything. And for more information, you could go to healingsonthego.com. But even for yourself, this is for you. You can do meditations. You can do some yourself. So again, accumulation of various energies, whether it be at the store, you picked up something negative. You know how many times I went to the store and I felt off? I was like, oh gosh, because there's so much energy. I used to love going to stores, and now I'm like, sometimes they're overwhelming, especially when there are a lot of people in there and there's a lot of clutter, a lot of energy clutter. So I can feel everything. Sometimes it's not too fun. I like the mall when it's empty. I used to go when everyone's at work and I was like, clean space. It feels so good. And a lot of people could relate about picking up stuff like in supermarkets and this and that. All right, my dears, I'm going to take a quick commercial break and I will be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned, everybody.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Hi, I am Linda Davetas. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium, and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. More about energy and energetic cords and attachments. So we're talking about aura clearing and also the hair. Again, remember the hair picks up a lot of energy. So even if you're going to a store or you're going anywhere you're picking up energy, you're picking up debris. That's why they say cleanse your space, cleanse your hair, take a bath. Everything is energy. And I had this man I know, he's a priest, and he told me, Linda, some people don't want to take a bath. And why do you think? Then I thought to myself, why? And then he said, because they have certain dark energies like that energy, so they could stick onto you longer. I was like, oh boy. So people, please, like, just try to keep your energy clear. And even if you don't have to do a healing, it's okay. You can do it in different forms. So some forms that you can do it are essential Epsom salt bath, essential oils. There's different kinds for different anxiety, stress, fear. There's other ways you can clear by saging and rosemary. So there's a lot of things you can do on your own. But again, if it becomes overwhelming and you feel like you're not getting you're not getting any better, you do need to reach out to Reiki practitioner or myself. And you, again, could see my service page at healingsonthego.com. Okay, so let's talk about more stuff. Habitual patterns. What does that mean? It means repetitive behaviors and habits that create energetic imprints and attachments. So basically, smoking, making it difficult to break free from certain cycles or addictions. So those are all energetic as well. Smoking, those are all patterns of addiction. And what is it? You're attached to the cigarette, you're attached to the drug, you're attached to alcohol. Those are all things that you need to cut the cords. Cut the cords so that way you can free yourself from that. And again, you cannot cut the cords if you're not ready. If you're not ready to quit smoking, no matter what someone does, will not help because you're not ready. It's your free will to say yes or no. They cannot force you to stop smoking. Nobody can force anybody. They say, oh, maybe they could put a spell on me. Yes, they can try to put a spell on you, but it's up to you at the end if you say yes or you say no. It's your free will, and you can do as you please. And you will feel the energy. People do send energy, you will feel it. But again, it's up to you at the end. Okay, the next one is collective consciousness and attachments. These are energies and thought patterns from the collective consciousness. For example, full moons, new moons, we're all attached to everything. So the full moon is a collective energy. Full moon, new moon, all these things are all energies that are attached to us because we're all one. We're connected with everything. So sometimes we might feel a little off. That could be because of the energy being very intense, like the full moon is very intense. And the new moon, it comes with different zodiacs. Like for now, tomorrow is a very collective day because it's the full moon in Sagittarius. And what does that mean? Full moons are very intense energy. So that is the perfect time to try to send manifestations out there. Try to send out things that you want to happen. Focus on things that you want to happen because guess what's going to happen? what you're focusing on and what you feel is going to be intensified. So, for example, you might be in a real bad mood tomorrow, God forbid. It's going to intense your anger. I've had it happen to me before that I was mad, and I normally don't get mad. I don't get really cranky, but I was like, what's wrong with me? And then I felt it was on the full moon and I was that much more. So I was like, oh my God, that is so funny. So it intensifies things. So focus only on what you want tomorrow. Focus on the energy of whatever you're looking to attract and attract it, because this is the time where it's an attachment. We are together with the full moon. We are together with the full moon energetically. So we're going to use those energies to our advantage, and we're going to think of things that make us feel good. So that's the collective conscious attachments, where you collective, and sometimes there's a lot of mass conscious, there's a lot of fear. So for example, there was that earthquake. There was a lot of fear in the air. You might not have felt that scared, but then you feel more scared. The sensitives pick up on it a lot. They'll feel very fearful all of a sudden, or they will feel all the stuff that's going on in the air. That's the only bad thing about being sensitive, to be honest. You pick up on the good, you pick up on the bad. So that's collective consciousness. And the energies are intense, and they're intense for a reason. So use them to your advantage. Okay, the next one is chakra imbalancing. Chakra imbalances. It's energetic attachments that specifically affect the chakras, causing imbalances and blockages in the energy of our body through the energy of the flow. So, what does that mean? That means that the chakra imbalances, for example, let's say you have a lot of migraines. What is imbalanced? So, think about where the head imbalance in the crown chakra. So what you're going to do, you're going to work on your crown chakra. So everything is attachments. When you love someone, you're in a relationship with them, you're connecting with them. Whether you're connecting in their mind, their heart, or any other area in their body, you're corded with them. So for example, you might be in love with one person and not in love with the other person. So that means just you're your chakra has connected like a cord to their heart. So some people say, wow, I just feel them all the time, because you're connected with them. You're in a relationship with them, you're connected with them. And the more time you spend with them, the more you're connected with them in different areas. You might not be connected with them only in the heart, you might be connected with them in the stomach, you might be connected all over the place. And that's why you can cut the cords, but you can also heal the cords. And we'll get to that a little bit later. Okay, so now the next one is curses and hexes. Yes, they could send you curses. Yes, they could send you hexes. But do you think those people, I think to myself, don't you know that whatever you send out comes back to you 10 times? So why would you even bother giving someone negativity? But anyway, this is a free world where people do as they please. So negative energies directly intended to someone through rituals or spells create attachments that disturb the person's energy and well-being. So now, say they want to hex you, they're giving you all these bad energies. Again, you can clear them. Yes, you can. You can heal from them. But again, the people that are doing it, it's just going to go back to them. Sorry to tell you guys, but you don't get away from karma. What you give is what you get. So I had this lady one time call me up and she's like, you know what? I'll pay you $1,000. Can you send some bad energy on my ex-husband? He cheated on me. That's it. I don't care if you pay me $50,000. I go, there is no way I will send bad energy to anyone. And then she said, but why? I'm paying you that. I go, I don't care if you pay me. I go, that's bad karma. I'm not going to do that. I said, why don't you do that? So yeah, I do not do bad stuff. I do healings and love and money, all positive things. I send nice energy. I do not. So don't ask me, because the answer is no. Okay, the next one is attachments from the media. A lot of times the media is just scaring us, lots of violence, lots of negative. Someone got killed on the train, someone got beheaded, this and that. that all attaches to our energy field. So a lot of things are violent. That's why I do not watch the news anymore. There used to be a time I would sit there, watch the news, and I would feel so sick with anxiety afterwards. And I said, that's one thing I'm not watching anymore. So they used to tell me, oh, did you see it on the news? No, I don't even watch the news. I don't want to pick up on that stuff. You're attaching to the media, the energy, the violence, and this and that. Can't you ever turn on a TV and be like, well, yes, hexes are scary. I was like, can't you ever turn on the TV and say, wow, somebody did something good? Just why does the news have to be so negative? Can't they say something happy for once? Yes, and they are scary, but you know what? They're sending people bad stuff, and that's just coming back to them. Like, don't they know the tenfold law? What you give, you get back 10 times worse. So they think, oh, I'm going to get away with it. No, you're not going to get away with it. Good luck with that. I would never, it's not worth to do harm to a person. You leave it in God's hands and you say, well, let them get what they deserve. And God knows what they deserve. You don't have to send that out. It's not good for the soul or anything. Okay, the next one is soul fragmentation. What does that mean? It means that parts of the soul that become fragmented due to trauma or intense experiences, creating attachments that need to be okay, I'm just reading my notes. Reintegrated for wholeness. Hi, Matthew. Welcome, welcome. It shows one, but I know at least 3 people are on. How you doing, Matthew? Welcome, welcome. So soul fragmentation, it's part of the soul that's been fragmented. I know this, when I went to crystal class, we had this wand. It looks like it's a crystal wand. And people that know, you could cut someone's aura. Yes, you can. Again, that's your own bad karma if you do that to someone, but you could do that. And what happens then is their aura becomes very, you get like holes in the aura and that things start to stick on them. And then you need a whole thing to clear, get their aura back again. So this is what it means, soul fragmentation. You are definitely have to be careful of what tools you're using. It's in crystal land, because if you do it and you think it's a joke, it's not. Certain crystal wands could be used like a gun. You can cut someone's aura and they will really be not in a good place. So use them wisely. Use your tools wisely. Okay, the next one is spiritual contracts. Like I said, you can never judge someone's soul. Even people that have cheated, now forgive me, God, but you cannot judge them. You don't know what their karmic was. You do things with good intention, but again, God can only judge people. So spiritual contracts are agreements made on spiritual level, often unconsciously. So like I said in my book, I clearly remember picking my life. I clearly remember being a spirit. And if you want to read more about it, you could go to my journey from darkness to the light, and it's on my site. You can buy my book, read all about what I went through. And I saw a lot of beautiful stuff. And I do know that we do pick our parents and we do pick a lot of stuff. Now, not everything is picked, because on our journey, we do go through these bumps and we do go and pick our paths, but the majority, the main stage is picked. Your parents are picked, your spouses are picked, your children, how many children you're going to have are picked. Okay, there's a lot of things that are picked, and there's a lot of things that we have free will. And so again, spiritual contracts, we are connected with the person. And certain things, you meet people for a reason, whether it be good or bad. There's a reason why you met them. Some people are here to drive us nuts, but we just try to work through them. They're all lessons, and there's a lot of good in, spiritual contracts. Meeting your soulmate, meeting your spouse. You might have had your spouse in many lifetimes. I do believe Jesus picked one life and one life only. I know for sure he's not coming back as another person. Some people, some spirits can only pick, like they can have only one life and they want to always be that person. And that's fine. We get to pick different stuff. We can pick to be different genders, and that's just my belief. Now, whatever you don't agree with me, that's okay. We all have our own beliefs. I just know from what I've seen with my own eyes. So I speak from my experience, but that's not everyone's truth. It's just what I've seen, what I've experienced with my own eyes. I know that we have a soul and we pick different genders and different experiences in our lifetime. So again, it's not everyone's belief, and that's okay, but that's mine. So the next one is addressing these attachments. It's self-awareness. It's a energy healing. For example, I picked up so many negative cords through my mother's house that I used to go to a spiritual lady. I used to beg for help. I was wrapped up in severe anxiety and panic attacks from everything I was seeing and witnessing and experiencing. So all this led me to be in the healing in my life, be a healer, energy healer, and help people clear their energy and heal from the fears that I went through. Just help out because I know what it's like. So I went through that. So energy healing practices, like you can, it's just so important. If I didn't have that lady to guide me, I probably would have been on medicine because I had so much fear. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So back then, she used to heal me different with herbs, cleansings, and stuff. I do different. I do it with Reiki. Um, I have like 5 degrees in healing and candle manifestation channeling where you don't even have to be near me. I do it remotely. And thank God I'm so happy that I have 55-star reviews. Finally, the big 50. I was so excited when I saw it. 55-star reviews. That's a real good thing for me. And I know a lot of people want to write, but some people don't want to really speak about their privacy. That's it. You don't have to write what I do for you. Just leave a nice review, whatever you feel. All right, everybody, I'm going to take another quick commercial break and I will be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned, everyone.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo!
Hi, I am Linda Davetas. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium, and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Yay. Okay, I would like to say a quick hello to Julie. Julie, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, everybody. Please do like and share more about energy and energy attachments. The next one I would like to speak about is elemental attachments. And what are those? They are connections with nature's spirits, the elemental beings, which are the fairies, the angels. They're associated with earth, fire, water, and they can be positive. They're also disruptive if they're imbalanced. So more about that. When we go into nature and we connect with the ocean, we want to always balance and connect with a certain spirit guides. So, for example, we go to the water, we're connected with goddess of the ocean, the dolphin healers. We're all one, we're all connected. We're like tree branches that we're connecting from one to the other. So using them for positive is what they're trying to say. The element of the fire, the element of the water, earth, use things for the positive. Okay, the next one is astrological influences. Energies from planetary alignments and astrological events can attach to someone's influence of behavior, mood, and life changes. For example, tomorrow, for all the Sagittariuses out there, tomorrow is your day. It is Sagittarius, and it's all about the full moon being in your zodiac sign. Sagittariuses are very fun-loving, adventurous. So we're going to use each full moon to its advantage. And Sagittarius is outgoing again, and they're very free-spirited. They're very direct in your face. Sometimes, whether you want to hear it or not, they're going to tell it to you like it is, which is good. So yeah, being attached to different astrological events. Again, everybody, tomorrow is the full moon. So do a little ritual, manifest what you want to attract. The next is past life traumas. Past life traumas could be from different lifetimes that remain unresolved again. Like we said earlier, manifesting attachment, certain behaviors, phobias into the current time, into the current life. So I also just got certified for past life regression, which is awesome because we go back in time and we can actually bring in certain things that we were masters then at into this life. For example, in another life, for example, I know I was always a healer, but I can always bring back techniques of how I know I used to work with water then, a lot of ocean. So I could bring back certain memories where I can bring it into my practice now. So bringing in past life things into our reality now, but also working with our traumas. What traumatized us then? Why are we scared of things? Do you know that sometimes you'll be scared of things out of nowhere? And then you're like, thank you. You're so sweet, Anne. And you're like, why am I scared of that? I can name endless things. I was scared of everything when I was younger. I had so many fears. Like from one fear, I would go to the next fear, to the next fear. So, yeah, I just went through a lot of it. And now I realize why I went through it because I can empathize with someone. So if someone's scared of certain things, and I've had so many, I know exactly how they feel like. So I guess that's the best way to heal someone when you've been in their shoes before. So definitely fears and phobias, bringing them into our reality. And that's cell memory. You're remembering something of a past life. Like all of a sudden, I know a friend of mine, she's now scared of water. Meanwhile, she used to always love water. She was always in the ocean and stuff like that. So yeah, it will leave. But something at that age, at that moment, something happened to you in that lifetime. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Now you're better because whatever happened, let's say you're scared again of the water. And then later on, what would happen is that fear will all of a sudden leave. So that's just like it's gone now. Thank God. All right, the next one is psychic attacks. Psychic attack. Energies or intentions sent consciously or unconsciously by others that affect everyone's individual energy field. So, people, again, can send you negative energy. Yes, they can. Now, it's not to be scared of it because first of all, you can cleanse that. So, I wouldn't even worry about it. You can cleanse that energy off of you. You could cleanse it off yourself. It's just like going to take a bath. You know how you wash yourself? You can also cleanse that energy off of you. I've worked with so many, I've done thousands and thousands of candle healings that people were not feeling good. You know, I know I'm supposed to write a second book one day, but in the meantime, I'll just tell you a story. I had this lady send me of her father that he looked like he was going to pass from one day to the other after I cleared him and everything, because she said she had this negative person that really stressed him out. And I'm sure they were attached, you know, definitely. So her energy was making him very sick. After I did cord cutting and this and that, the next day she sends me a picture. He looked like he went back to life. So yes, you can cleanse it. So don't even be scared like, oh, they're going to send me bad energies. I know it's not a comfortable feeling, but you can clear it. And again, I'm going to say it again. You can find me at healingsonthego.com, where we do have live agents. So if you want to book a session with me, book it through them, or you can always contact me directly. I'm all over the place. You can message me at healingsonthego@gmail.com, or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I have all of those. So don't even worry about it. They can send you bad energy, but you can just cleanse yourself from it. And again, remember, when you hug someone, you're exchanging energy. When you're looking at someone, you're exchanging energy. When you're listening to someone, you're exchanging energy. Now, do not be, we have to do these things. We're human to listen and look. But if you start feeling not so well, remember, you can always cleanse it. So never fear. I am here. There are a lot of people that do healings, but I've done them from 2014. I have my company. So I've done them before then. I was just never had my company then. Okay, shadow attachments. What is that? Parts of the psyche that have been repressed or denied can act as attachments. So things that you don't want to look at, you're attached to it. So that's why they say work at your shadow self. Because if you don't work on your shadow self, you can't just put it under the rug. It's going to come out eventually. So look at it, work with it, understand it. And then when you understand it is when you can heal from it. But if you just say, no, 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 and you want to dust it off and put it under the mat, well, one day it's going to creep out of there and it's going to show itself. So always face your fear, work with it, understand it, try to break it into like little puzzle and try to see and try to, maneuver it in a way where you can understand healing, the healing part of it. For example, people in breakups, why did it happen? It shouldn't have happened. You have to go back, visit it, because then those thoughts are just going to make you sick at the end. Your stomach's going to hurt, your chest's going to hurt. Where do you think energy goes? It goes to your health. It's going to your health. It's making you feel a certain way. So we want to keep our energy field as good as possible. So you have to revisit the thoughts, try to come to a conclusion of it, and try to heal it. Break it up in little pieces and understand it. I also do spiritual counseling, and that you can find also on my site, healingsonthego.com. Okay, the next one is implants, energetic implants. Sometimes they refer to uh, the energy of the body or the control of an individual. So implanting thoughts in your head, those are attachments because our thoughts are attachments, and what we think about is being attached to us. And the way you think about it is what you're manifesting from it. You see, it's like a whole cycle. So let's say I'm scared, for example. Let's say I'm scared of something. The more I'm scared of it, the more it kind of attracts to you, because what we focus on, we attract, unfortunately. And then it's funny because what you really want, you block. You see, God made it in a funny way. So you have to always think of things in a light kind of way and be okay if it happens or not. That's like the best way to manifest something. You can say, okay, I would love to see yourself with money, but if it happens or if it doesn't happen, don't put pressure on it. If you put pressure on something, it's not going to happen. Okay, the next one is ego attachments. Ego attachments, working from the ego, pride, desire. Humble yourself. Ego attachments is not a good thing, because when you think you're all that, people always can see right through people, and it's just not a good energy to carry with you. So always be humble and let go of the ego attachments, because they do create blocks and imbalances. Okay, I'm going to skip over real quick and just talk about real quick, because I know I only have like 4 minutes left, but how to clear and deal with these cords. I want to give you just a couple of ways you can heal yourself. And the first one, I'm going to, basically right now, crystal healing, energy healing, sound healing. That's what I do, all that. But to do it yourself, you can do affirmations. For example, repeat things to release energetic cords. Say, I release all negative cords and connections. I reclaim my energy and power. What we speak is our wand. So when you speak certain things, what's happening, you're creating an energy. What you speak, you will get back to you. Thank you for the hearts. You guys are awesome. The next one is cord cutting ritual. Performing a cord cutting ritual. Again, I do that too. So I'm going to skip over. I'm looking for something that you can do yourself. Also, a lot of people, how they do is releasing letters. So, what is that? You actually write a letter to people or situations to whom you feel energetically tied to, your thoughts and your feelings. So, that's one way of releasing it, writing it down. Breathing, thank you, Anne. Breathing, very, very important. Breathing in, breathe out, releasing tension, anxiety, stagnant air, stagnant energy. Breathing is good because it's releasing. Deep breathing, visualizing the white light, visualizing a bright, healing light surrounding your body, feeling your aura, and dissolving any cords or attachments. You could do this very clearly. Dissolving any cords or attachments. Imagine the light extending outward, protecting and cleansing your energy. So you want to visualize that. Actually, putting yourself in a bubble is the best way to go. If you're going somewhere and you feel like there's going to be somebody negative, visualize the white light on you. See if you feel or see the cords or you feel the energy, you have to really focus and say, I'm releasing this negative energy. Just by visualizing it, you can clear it too. And the last one is get professional guidance. Again, I've been doing this for many, many years. And if you need any help, what I do is remote and in person, but 99% it's remote and it works perfectly. You can visit my reviews at Google Maps, Healings on the Go, or you can go to healingsonthego.com and just check out my prices. I give discounts. So message me and say, I saw your show, and just see the services that I offer, and we can talk about it. I can guide you on the right direction of how to heal yourself. And again, I do crystal healing, energy healing, so many things. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And just remember, you can't completely avoid energy cords or energy attachments because we are attached to everything. But what you can do is clear the belief behind the belief. So clearing the energy, the emotion attached from one to the other will help you get through it. And everything will be okay. Don't worry. Okay, don't be scared if people send you bad energy. That just goes back to them. They should know better, right? The tenfold law. You cannot send someone something without just getting your karma back. That's how life is. What you give, you get. So God bless you all. Again, healingsonthego.com. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Thank you, Julie. Beautiful way to wake up to you. Thank you in Australia. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you and everyone tuning in today. Thank you so much for being on. Have a great night, everyone, and a great day. God bless you all. Bye-bye.